This is a Hololive video. Specifically, today we're going to be trying to do justice to Justice. Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. The accent's only gonna go downhill from here, I promise. Cecilia Immergreen, Raora Panthera, the Gigi Murin. It looks like it is glowing with cartoonish radioactive energy. Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh, now we're suffering. Why is the foam so thick? Uh-oh, that's really tasty. There we go. Oh god, I might be a little more drunk than I thought I'd be. Welcome. That's right, I'm wearing a KFP hat and a Hat Films hoodie, which can only mean one thing. This is a Hololive video. Specifically, today we're gonna be trying to do justice to Justice. And with that high energy intro out of the way, just a few quick things. One, I know I say this every single time, but I mean it this time. I'm gonna try and keep this short, mainly because my poor grandmother needs to go to bed at 9 o'clock. She's now sleeping in the room right above this, and I just don't want to bug her. That's just rude. She needs her sleep. Secondly, I did not realize how hot it was gonna be down here when I decided to put on this hoodie. And I'm immediately cooking alive. So, the second thing, I'm gonna say it preemptively, you're gonna have to tell me what you think of this one, because two of them are, honest to God, real attempt at cocktails that I think taste very good, and the other two, honestly, I just thought were funny. So I'm sorry if your Oshi gets a little bit more of a joke cocktail, but when you hear what they are, I think you'll agree it just makes sense. So without further ado, let's get straight into it because I am already sweating. It's so hot. I didn't know it was gonna be this hot. First up is a cocktail for the queen herself, Miss Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. That felt offensive. I don't know why I did a British accent on that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna do a few more accents in this video, especially after I've had a bit more to drink. I'm sorry in advance. But also I'm not sorry, I'm American. We just kind of do this shit. I don't need to be sorry for making fun of British people. I gotta cut that. Speaking of British, a lot of these drinks were inspired more by the nationalities of Justice, and with British, German, and Italian, there are very famous spirits that come out of each one, and so that's kind of what drove me in the direction we're about to go, because if you know British and you need a spirit, probably gonna be a London dry gin. The accent's only gonna go downhill from here, I promise. Can I do a good British accent? Probably. Do I want to? Not really. So, we are going to do 2 ounces of our London Dry Gin, or your choice of gin. It really doesn't matter that much. I'm just using London Dry because it made more sense, and also Bombay is a little bit more normal than your Hendrick's gin. If I had my choice, I'd probably actually use this Nikka coffee gin, but that's Japanese, so it doesn't really fit the theme. And next, what is the most famous gin cocktail, if not the martini? Okay, probably a gin and tonic, but I don't count that, so a martini. And what is a Manhattan, if not a take on a martini, and what is Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, if not red? And so wanting to build a more classic cocktail with gin that is red, it made total sense in my brain to go with kind of a gin Manhattan sort of thing. So we are going to do 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. And finally, now a Manhattan would call for Angostura bitters, and I did make it that way last night, and it was good. But I'm a little curious if I can find a better answer. Time to play with some bitters. Okay, I've decided. My decision is actually, we're going to do 1 dash of Peychaud's bitters, which is, how to describe this? Pretty anise heavy, black licorice-y, and then 1 dash of Luxardo's sour cherry bitters. Now those can be a little tricky to find, depending. 2 dashes of Angostura is delicious. I'm just curious how this will taste, because I think it's gonna taste really good. You should always stir your Manhattans and your martinis, no matter what James Bond or that one painting says. Strain that into our martini glass. And now for the fun part. I mean, how could we make a drink for one such as Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame without setting it on fire? And that is the Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, aka... well, shit. It spilled a little on me, and for a second my body reacted as if it was going to be very hot, because it was just on fire. It wasn't, you know, it was warm. Still terrifying for that brief second. Anyways, aka the blood flame. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so so cool. So first of all, there was this weird experience because the top is obviously hot because it was on fire. The bottom is still cold, and that's kind of like what comes up when you suck. So it came up underneath all the heat and was just this kind of cool layer in there. The flavor though, it is rich and divine. I guess royal is the way we should describe that. Not divine, but royal. In that the gin pulls you towards a martini. It pulls you towards that more dry, classic kind of adulty drink, while the sweet vermouth is pulling you more towards Manhattan, more towards sweet. So it's not as, I guess, off-putting as a classic dry martini may be to most people. Well, not dry martini, wet martini is what you would call it now. What I mean is dry in flavor. I love a martini that way. I love an ounce of dry vermouth. You should go watch my 5 simple cocktails videos if you haven't yet, where I show you how to make that and talk about how good it is and how times have changed it into now people just like shaken vodka and call that a martini. That's not a martini, that is vodka up. Which if you're serving vodka properly, it already is. It's already chilled vodka. I am way off the rails. I'm supposed to be talking about this, and I would love to, because it is fucking delicious. The Peychaud's in there, the anise is mostly gone. You're not getting a lot of that licorice flavor, but what it's doing is actually helping the gin in pulling it towards a more classic martini flavor. It's adding that kind of dryness that you can tell if you know to look for it. Is that anise, is that licorice flavor, but the way it's underneath everything pulls it into that dry vermouth aesthetic taste, so that the gin is working with it to kind of feel like that classic martini flavor, whereas the sour cherry is helping the sweet vermouth pull it into a Manhattan flavor, is making it a little sweeter, a little sour, obviously, like a Manhattan is supposed to be. It's kind of got that cherry flavor to it, which is why it's usually garnished with a cherry. You know what? Let me put a cherry in there, just cause. A little bit more red for our drink. Oh my god, I am sweating profusely. Probably starting a fire in a hot basement was not helping me, let alone drinking. I might have to ditch the hoodie at some point. I don't know. I hope not. I have a complex about my body. Please be nice to me in the comments. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. It is so approachable. If somebody wants to feel fancy, you're still in that fancy realm, but the flavor, I think, is still approachable enough, is still sweet enough in a way that if you want to give this to someone who wants to feel a little fancier, wants to have a martini, but doesn't really like a martini yet, it's a stepping stone drink. Let me put it that way. This will get you towards that more, I'm sorry to say mature, but mature flavors of those more dry cocktails, but it's still sweet enough that somebody who's up there is not gonna bat an eye at that. They are going to love it, and it's gonna be a nice break from something super sugary that they might be used to. The sweet vermouth pulls a lot more of the orange out of the gin than the herbal element, which really is helping it move into more of that sweet realm. Usually with a martini, if you've watched that video, you'll know how I feel about it. You do 2 dashes of orange bitters in a martini, which helps the gin because gin has a lot of those citrusy flavors in there. And here, instead of the bitters doing it, it's the sweet vermouth, which gives you a different kind of rich orangey flavor, where instead of the essence of orange, you're getting more into the actual meat of the orange. I kind of love everything about that drink. I kind of need this every day of my life. I really wish I had more to say about it. It's just delicious. It's not quite a martini. It's not quite a Manhattan. It does stand on its own in this, I think, beautiful middle ground that I don't think I'll ever get tired of. I want to down it right now, but the other part of me wants to set it here so that I can keep drinking it throughout because it's just that good. I just want to have this palate cleanser. Anyways, let's move on to something interesting. Alright, this next drink is for Cecilia Immergreen, which, I mean, come on. Obviously, it has to be something involving matcha because obviously, but here's the problem. I hate tea, and I especially hate matcha. And so while thinking about it and trying to find some way to avoid actually using matcha, I decided to make some not matcha, or natcha, if you will. And if you couldn't tell already by the stupid grin on my face, this is one of the drinks that a little bit more of a bit. I think it's pretty funny, and it might actually end up tasting good, but honestly, when you see what it is, I think it's gonna become pretty clear. It was a funny enough idea, I couldn't not do it. So given that Cecilia is German, well, what's the most famous spirit from Germany? Yeah, it's Jagermeister. I had not had Jagermeister until I sipped it yesterday after buying it. And quite frankly, I mean, it's not really that bad. It's got a lot of the anise, again, that black licorice flavor, but with a bit of kind of Coca-Cola going on. It's very herbal, sweet. Yeah, it tastes like a Coca-Cola with black licorice in it, is I guess the easiest way to describe it. I mean, how am I not gonna use Jagermeister in the German girls drink? So let's just go ahead and, I don't know, I didn't really plan this one out. 1.5 ounces of Jagermeister? How's that sound? Probably bad. Next, we need it to be green, so Midori, because it needed to be green. I don't know how green it's gonna end up being, but we had to try. Fuck it, equal parts, why not? There's probably plenty of reasons why not, but here we are. That is not green, but does have a disturbing green hue to it. It looks like it is glowing with cartoonish radioactive energy. Always an appealing way to start your drink. Next, I guess I add ice and mix this. Give this a stir. Also herbal, Jagermeister is herbal, green tea is herbal. Huh. This might be interesting, we'll find out. I'm gonna strain this into a rocks glass. That is not green in the slightest. We've come this far, so let's just pour in some vanilla cream soda. Because, like, melon cream soda, that's a thing. That is, well, that's Natcha, to be sure. Because it is not matcha. I don't really know how to make it more green. I think that's just it. I think we've done it. For better or for worse, I think that is just kind of the drink. So, there you go. That's your Cecilia Immergreen, aka Natcha. I kind of hate that in that footage you can see, like, a weird hint of green around the bubbles. Like they were poorly green screened out. Everything about this was a bad idea. You know what? That's not too bad. It's a flavor. It is an acquired flavor. The Midori and the cream soda are kind of amping the black anise in the Jagermeister and turning it into just straight bubble gum. Full on Hubba Bubba double bubble gum. Wow. I mean, as much as melon cream soda kind of tastes like gum, that's just amped up. Do I love it? Not really. There's someone out there who would, for what was initially pretty much just a bit. You know what? It's grown on me. What else is there to say? That really is just kind of the overwhelming flavor. Is melon cream adjacent to bubblegum. The Jagermeister is, the anise kind of takes that back seat. You get a little bit more of the Coke in there working with the vanilla cream. You get the melon and the cream up front, and then it smoothly slides into the black licorice. And so it's not as an aggressively potent flavor as you would come to expect from something that tastes like black licorice, to the point where I think even most people would probably not hate that. You know, I don't love black licorice, but I don't hate it either. And so here, the anise, it works with the other two in a bizarre fashion. I mean, it just clicks. That's actually not that bad of a drink. I thought that was gonna be a lot funnier as a bit, and it just ended up making something pretty good. You know what? Let's throw something else in there. Mint and lime. Let's add the 2 green ones. Oh, there we go. Oh, now we're suffering. I can't take another sip of that. I can't. That's somehow turning me very sick very fast. Oh. Well, that's your Cecilia Immergreen. This was a very short segment, I guess. Let me know down below if you want to see me make a better Cecilia in the future, and I might actually try and use matcha. I really hate green tea, guys. Anyways, on to the next one. Hey, real quick, thank you so much for watching this video so far. I hope you're enjoying it because I'm enjoying making it. For once, I'm actually recording this in the middle instead of at the end. So, I don't know how the next 2 are gonna go yet. We're gonna find out together. In the meantime, though, if you are enjoying this, I'd like to ask you to like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTube things. Share this with everybody you know who loves Hololive, who loves Justice, who loves cocktails, who loves things being on fire. That was fun, right? And while you're at it, please consider becoming a member where you will get access to exclusive videos, extended videos, all of my stream VODs, as well as the SteveSekai cocktail guide, which will have all of these recipes in it alongside just about every other one I've made on the channel. And speaking of those extended videos, if you're here, you probably like Holoprod, so it's at least worth it to check out the extended video of Axel making me a cocktail, which if you haven't seen the original video, you should also go check out. That's all. Thank you so much. Back to the video. Up next is a drink for Raora Panthera. Raora. I might be tipsier than I think I am. Either way, it's a drink for our beautiful big pink cat. I'm just gonna be honest, I love the color pink. That's mostly irrelevant. I just like the color pink and I wanted to say that. Also, the drink's pink, so I guess it is relevant, so. And now obviously, if you couldn't tell the trend from the last two, a lot of the inspiration is Italian. And then next was just that beautiful shade of pink. That's more or less the entire story here. Let's make a drink. To start with our Italian inspiration, we're going to do 1.5 ounces of Amaretto. The Amore Amaretto is what I have here. Somebody on, I think it was the Hollow Stars video, commented that they were shocked at my Italian pronunciation. I don't know why. I just said Di Amore Amaretto over and over. And I guess that's enough to be mistaken for Italian. Very clearly not. Next up is going to be 1 ounce of dry vermouth. And then this last bit was actually going to be a bit more involved until I went to my local little grocery fruit store thing. They make a bunch of lemonades with different fruits. I bought a ton, all of which to try and make this drink pink. The watermelon was okay, the raspberry was pretty good, and I think this one will be very good. I just thought it'd be fun to try it on camera for the first time, really. It is strawberry lemonade. We'll start with 3 ounces. How's that sound? Maybe we'll add more at the end. I don't know. We're gonna shake this. We can do something with that. Hold on, more ice and more pink. I was about to say you can never have too much pink. Apparently you can. And there you have your Raora, aka leopard juice. Fuck. Oh, that's really good. Uh-oh, that's really tasty. I promise it is more pink in person than that shot would have you believe. It is pretty pink. It's not this pink. I'll give you that. This is that pink. You can only do so much when you're working with Amaretto. Really darkens things up quickly. How does that compare? Okay, you really can taste the Amaretto. If I said earlier that the Elizabeth Rose Blood Flame was kind of a stepping stone drink for people who like really sugary things, this is the opposite direction. You could hand this to a fancy person and they'll probably try and go, oh, that's too sweet. Oh, that's just so sweet. And then keep taking sips of it because it is delicious. That's something you want at the beach. This is hitting the spot so hard right now. I am still boiling alive. Do not forget that. Never forget that. I can't forget it. I'm suffering through it. But this, it is so sweet. It is so refreshing. The lemonade is providing it just enough of a sourness to kind of work in tandem, but also kind of against the amaretto and the strawberry in it. The strawberry and the amaretto working together to make a very fruity flavor. If you've never had amaretto, despite being an almond liqueur, it tastes like maraschino cherries. And so that works perfectly with the strawberry into making this kind of almost not quite fruit punchy, but like strawberry smoothie zone. And the lemonade is sour enough to keep it refreshing. And the dry vermouth, it's not too potent in here, but it does keep it all from being way too sweet. You could drink that all day and not have that issue with a lot of super sugary drinks where it's not gonna bog you down, it's not gonna make you feel bad and too hot like a lot of super sugary, super fruity drinks will. Well, it might make you feel bad if you have more than one. I don't know. I haven't had more than one. But I can tell you, this one feels very, very good. It feels extra good right now because it is so hot down here. I'm curious. I'm just gonna do, it's about another ½ ounce, I think. Oh yeah! If you're like me and you don't like your super sweet stuff, do equal parts dry vermouth and amaretto. Because like I said, this pulls down the sweetness a lot. This is really, really helping. And so that extra ½ ounce, that turned it from like, oh, this is pretty gosh darn good, to now I could drink this all day at the beach and never regret it. My gosh, my golly. That's a crowd pleaser. Put that in a punch bowl. Everybody's gonna love that. That is so delicious. Summer cocktail party vibes, dude. Again, kind of like the Elizabeth. I wish I had more to say, but there's really not much more to say other than that is absolutely delicious, and I want to spend the rest of the night drinking it instead of recording. I also said I was gonna try and keep this quick, so I guess I'm keeping to my promise. It feels weird. I feel bad about it. I'm gonna stop thinking about it. Let's do the Gigi. The Gigi Murin. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way right out of the bat. You already know this is a Joe's Crab Shack glass drink. What the fuck else would it be? The embodiment of chaos, even though Bay exists, a true gremlin and goblin. And we all know how I feel about goblins. I love goblins. I don't know why I did a Christopher Walken there. Goblins. I might be a little more drunk than I thought I'd be. I might have finished the blood flame after making the Panther juice. The Gigi, fuck. The Gigi, to get back on track, is a drink that there's options here. I think I know which version I'm gonna go for. Well, how frozen is this ice cream? That seems fine. Ooh, never mind. I'm gonna go steal some of my grandmother's ice cream. Hold on. Okay, I've stolen ice cream. We might use that. I don't know yet. Basically, the idea was looking at Gigi, looking at the color scheme, something instantly came to my mind because it is what a lot of my channel's color scheme is based on. Creamsicle, orange and white. The original idea, you know what, let's make this drink twice, fuck it. So we're gonna make a good version of this drink and a bad version of this drink. Because the bad version of this drink was initially just orange soda, vanilla vodka, and chocolate syrup. There's some brown in the design too of the Grems. You know, I was looking, I was like, oh, the brown chocolate. Chocolate, in theory, goes with orange and goes with vanilla, but I don't think it's gonna go well in a drink with orange, soda and vanilla vodka. I don't think this is gonna work. While at the store, I remembered that there's this orange cream soda. So I was like, okay, actually you could probably make something good with orange cream soda. Just use regular vodka and then do like a float with some ice cream and some chocolate syrup on top of the ice cream. That'd probably be fine. That'd probably be delightful. But we're not here for fine. We're not here for delightful. Well, we will be. Right now, let's make the nightmare drink. Do I recommend this? I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, no. This is a bad idea. It will be bad. Let's just do 2 ounces of vanilla vodka. Smirnoff vanilla vodka, actually not that bad. An indiscriminate amount of chocolate syrup. God, doesn't that look like shit? Ooh, I don't like that. Can we mix that up at all? Great, now it looks like diarrhea. Oh, orange soda. Let me get some ice. Fuck, dude. Doesn't that look just delicious? Why is the foam so thick? Why is it so sturdy? It's not fizz. It's not going anywhere. The Gigi Murin. Oh God, no. Fuck. I love chocolate so much. I love orange. I love vanilla. I love a creamsicle. I love chocolate and orange. I love chocolate and vanilla. I like a good sundae. That is vile. Oh my God. Tastes like an orange Tootsie Pop. That's gone bad. Look at the end of the orange Tootsie Pop where you're starting to get the chocolate flavor. But it's gone bad. Why do I keep drinking it? That is vicious. That is spiteful. Oh my Lord. I hate that. I hate every part of that. I cannot drink any more of it because I think it will kill me. And someone out there is gonna fucking make it and they're gonna comment like, oh, you were right, this one was so bad. Yeah, no shit. I told you. I told you not to do it. This is your fault. You have no one to blame but yourself. Anyways, let's make the good one. I'm using the Natcha coffee vodka because I like it. There's not a ton of difference between most vodkas. Let's be honest. This one, pretty smooth because it's mostly made of corn. Corn is bourbon, which is American, even though this is Japanese. Shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. This is the Gigi. God bless the USA. Stewart's Fountain Classics Orange and Cream Flavored Soda. Somewhere around there. Vanilla ice cream. We're making a float, baby. There we go. Oh God. Holy shit, that's everywhere. Did we expect the Gigi to go any differently? Let's be honest. And lastly, it still needs the chocolate, unfortunately, so careful, SpongeBob. Oh, you wanna know what's fucking awesome? My phone wasn't recording any of that. I lost all that footage from here. So, fucking rad, I guess. Here's your Gigi Murin, your Grem. I mean, yeah, that's fun. Good, even. If you like creamsicles, this is just really good. It's a creamsicle float with vodka in it, which means you can't taste the vodka, so chocolate syrup's still not great, but it's probably just because it's Hershey's chocolate syrup. So I don't know, if you're buying fancy chocolate syrup, it'll probably taste better than this does, but it's still good. I would absolutely drink this no matter where you handed it to me. Even in a sketchy back alley, there was no better way for this to go than to be an absolute disaster on both fronts and on a technical level. I think mission accomplished on the Grem. I don't know what else you want me to say about it. That's the good version. You should make this one. That's why I put the recipe on the screen. Don't make this one. This is a fucking, oh my God. What the fuck? There's a thickness to it that is disturbing to look at. Oh my god, and like the foam is like brown now. That is straight out of a Goosebumps novel. I should not be eating this much sugar before bedtime. That's why I have the body issue problems that I talked about earlier. I did take the hoodie off if you couldn't tell. I put on this shirt just to keep the bit going. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and end this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it because I mostly enjoyed making it. This, again, truly disturbing. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTube things, share this with everybody you know who loves Hololive, who loves justice, who loves cocktails, blah, 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 blah. But if you want to see any other VTuber groups, want to see other Hololive groups, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and hey, just on the very slim chance that any member of Justice is watching this, thank you. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you so much for doing what you do. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And hey, if you want to see me collab with any other VTubers, because apparently that's a thing I do now, I guess, let me know down below who you'd want to see on the channel. That's the video. I said I was going to keep this short because, once again, I'm fucking dying down here. I am so hot. And I do mean that in the temperature sense, not the physical sense. As I've already said, I have a complex about my body. Please don't comment about it. It makes me sad to think about. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this anymore. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.